So that was Greyhound Blues, based and inspired by the playing of John Greyhound Maxwell, hence the title. And in the video description below you'll find a link to the original performance and also information if you're interested in the tablature. I tapped out the whole piece, the 5 passes, and that's what I will teach in this lesson according to that tab. And for me, slide playing is, well, it's like buying a house. What are the most 3 important things when you buy a house? Location, location, location. And with slide playing, it's muting, muting, muting. So I like a clean sound, and I mainly get that by resting my index finger on the strings after the slide. And if you don't do that, you get this sound. A lot of buzzing. Some people call that very authentic, but I don't like it, especially not in this song where you do a lot of moving around. Okay, we're in open D tuning or vestibule tuning. D, A, D, F sharp, A, and D. And let's start with the introduction. So, simple turnaround, going from the 3rd to the 1st fret and the open string. And you notice immediately the muting where I go. With the right hand palm here. And then we have the 1st verse, so... I'm sliding to the 12th fret, bar 3, and again I'm muting immediately, otherwise it rings too long. Double bass. I play that 9th fret 1st string with my index finger, get a cleaner sound, and then, and here I'm picking and resting my fingers on the strings after the 1st pick, like that. Double bass, 2nd fret, 5th string, open, 4th fret. And when you go from an open string, it's important to slightly put that index finger that mutes the string before the slide. Otherwise you get that. If you don't do that. That's my quest for a clean sound. Again, the muting of the picking finger. All right. And then we go to bar 7. So where we go to the 5th fret, the G chord, I did a very quick open 3rd and 1st string, and muted of course with my picking hands. when I'm sliding the 5th fret, I go with my slide lower, so I don't want to stay on that 5th fret 4th string. Otherwise it keeps on ringing and interferes with our single string run, which is in measure 8. So measure 7. And I'm playing bar 8. Again, I don't want that. I don't want that to ring, so I play that with different picking fingers. So with the middle, and then I pick the open 3rd string with the index and rest my middle finger on the 2nd string. Sorry. So I pick the open G string with the index and then the thumb to slide to that 4th fret. And again, I'm resting my index finger on the 3rd string so that it doesn't ring into the next beat. It's a lot of talk for just one measure, but and when I go in the tablature, of course, I had to write something. 4, 5, 6, 7, but it's like muddy waters. It's not really determined where you put your slide. You just go from the 4th fret to the 7th fret. And that in 2 beats. Double bass, 10th fret, 7th fret. A lot of muting with the picking finger, the middle finger in this case. In most cases, my middle finger picks the 1st string and the index picks the 2nd and the 3rd string. Where were we? Measure 10. Slide to the 7th fret. Alright, so we slide to the, and I mute then. Sorry. So after, and then a flamenco like that. Like that. And mute it, of course, afterwards. With the palm. Sorry. The turnarounds. That's the A chord. Looks like a bit of a E chord in standard tuning, but it's in open D tuning, it's an A chord. And I add the pinky to the 2nd fret there. So measure 14. So that the 2nd verse, the 2nd pass, index, middle finger, 1 for each string. I'm not gonna say mute this and mute that. You can use your ears, of course, and watch and listen carefully. Otherwise the lesson would be way too long. Notice that I play a lot of the bass sharp with a little bit of nail. That's only flesh, and that's with a little bit of nail, flesh and nail. So measure 17. So measure 18, we have just fingering the 3rd fret 2nd string for an E7, sorry, D7. And you can use dynamics, of course. Starts very in low volume. And I'm early in the last beat of measure 18. As it is stepped out, I play it as it is stepped out. But playing that 1st fret 5th string early gives me the time to wait and let that ring to go into the next measure. So we're fooling around with the G chord there. And then we're on the 2nd page. So we had that in bar 21, that slide to the 3rd fret 4th string. And then from the 3rd to the 4th fret and back again. And open. Sorry, that was before, now it's... And we're going down. 3rd fret. Turn around. All right, a lot of muting here. Measure 27, so we had to turn around in 28. Again I'm fretting the 9th fret 1st string in measure 28. Down with a thumb and rake up. So measure 28 again. Rake with the index up, and when you're at the 5th string, then you do with the thumb down on the 6th string. You see the finger bends a little bit, so you have a mixture of flesh and nail. And of course immediately muted. So once more that 27th measure. Sorry. And that bass, every time I hit that open E string, it is muted afterwards. And here, of course, you have to watch your timing. So it's very sliding, very softly we're sliding to the G string, the 5th fret, measure 31. Notice the muting. Bit of unusual run, kind of like it. And you see the picking fingers rest on the strings after the first pick. And it's a bit of a, how should I say, a mixed feeling. The bass keeps on ringing and the trebles are muted. Arpeggio, measure 33, second beat. There's a lot of ghost notes also, and in measure 33 that's a good example. In the last beat, it's not, you don't play it full force, very softly, and it helps you to keep it timing. Slide to the 9th fret, down, and here, well, we're in difficult territory because barring on the 2nd fret you will notice that it's not that easy with a slide, especially if your fingerboards and also the strings are curved, not really flat. Then it's a bit of rocking. And in the tab I wrote, let's say, the easy solution, that you only fret the first 4 strings. So we had that slide down, measure 34, last beat. And to the 7th fret. So once more, measure 34. I play. And don't play too hard, because then even if the buzzing is minimal, if you play it a bit softly, you can get away with it. And slide to the 7th fret, measure 36. That's how they stepped out, but any combination, of course, here works, and that's how you can make the song, well, more personal. So measure 36. And that turnaround, well, of course, that's Blind Blake with his Police Dog Blues. That's where I learned that turnaround. So, and our A chord. And then we have the 4th pass. Adjust my papers a bit. And I'll play the first couple of bars. So we're slapping the string, the 6th string, by putting our temp under it and hit afterwards. So it's a mute and then you hit it. Fret it with the finger and then slide. To say something about when you see in tablature in open D tuning, slide to the 4th fret sometimes it's bluesier to slide to, let's say, between frets 3 and 4. It's almost like you're bending that 3rd fret. If you listen to Blind Willie Johnson, he did that a lot. And he relied on his hearing purely because, well, he was blind, he couldn't see where he put his slide. So if you listen to Dark Was the Night, Cold Was the Ground, you're going to hear a lot of, let's say, 3.5 fret slides. So that's aside. And I really snap there. A little bit dynamics there. G chord, muted. Same techniques as before in measure, measure, measure. It's on the first page. Well, you know what I mean, in the first verse, where I use the middle finger, index finger, especially the resting on the strings, the ones you just picked, you rest on it afterwards. That's the technique to get those individual sounds. Otherwise you get this is especially if you listen to Muddy Waters or other plays in open D tuning, you get a lot of. So you play the first string, and then you mute it with your middle finger and you pick with index finger. Otherwise, if you don't do that, that first string will go to the 5th fret and ring like that. That aside. Alright, we were at measure 45. Well, we should go to measure 45. It is hard to get that clean. Again, because if your muting finger, the index finger here of the left hand, is too late, you get that buzzer. I didn't do it very well in the performance. To avoid it, it's easier to play just once, right? Alright, so we were at measure 45, where we did that. Frets. Our flamenco rascuedo. 12 frets. Hammer on pull off and turn around. So I'm sliding to the 12th fret, note the mute, pinch, and I play the first string 7th fret and mute it afterwards. 12th, 10th fret. We've seen that move before, but now I'm not playing the 5th string, but the open 6th string. Bar 57. So hit the 9th fret with the tap. 7th, sorry, 4th to 7th. I don't pick all those strings as an arpeggio, it's just the 4th fret, strings 4, 3 and 2. I slide up and then the 5th string and the 1st string. I played something different than in the tab. This is what is in the tab. And I played. And what I did different is that I used the 2nd half of measure 48. That instead of I did, and then pinch 2nd, 3rd and 6th strings and slide up and harmonics. So that's it for Greyhound Blues. Do listen to John Greyhound Maxwell. He's a great slide player and has some very good slide pieces on YouTube. Alright, have fun with this tune.